Both sides of the story, linking Jamaicans in the diaspora with Jamaicans of like mind in Jamaica.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Connecting the Jamaican diaspora abroad and at home.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Yes, both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
But to every mind there openeth a way, and way, and a way. A high soul climbs the highway, and the low soul gropes the low. And in between on the misty flats, the rest drift to and fro. But to every man there openeth a highway and a low, and every mind decideth the way his soul shall go. One ship sails east and another west by the self-same winds that blow. 'Tis the set of the sails and not the gales that tells the way we go. Like the winds of the sea are the waves of time as we journey along through life. 'Tis the set of the soul that determines the goal and not the calm or strife. 2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the 29th day of the 9th month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, and the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor, as well as the International Year of Health and Care Workers. Put another way, it's the 29th day of the 4th month of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, and the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, is issuing advisories on Hurricane Sam, located several hundred miles northeast of the northern Leeward Islands, and on newly formed Tropical Depression 20, which is located over the eastern tropical Atlantic. Meanwhile, showers and thunderstorms remain disorganized in association with a trough of low pressure located several hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. Some slow development is possible during the next couple of days while it drifts west-northwestward across the central tropical Atlantic. In the meantime, an area of low pressure associated with the remnants of Peter, located several hundred miles south of the coast of Newfoundland, continues to produce disorganized showers and thunderstorms. The system is moving northeastward over cooler waters and into a region of very strong upper-level winds, and significant development is not anticipated. Closer to home, the National Meteorological Service says a trough is expected to remain across the island for the next several days, mainly scattered showers and thunderstorms expected across southern parishes and hilly areas of northern parishes for the rest of this afternoon. It will be partly cloudy tonight. As far as the other observances go, let's remind you that the month of September, as it draws to a close, is the month in which we have been observing World Alzheimer's Month activities, Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, Employers Month, Travel Agents Month, Alopecia Awareness Month, partial or complete loss of hair, baldness, Cheese Month, and Senior Citizens Awareness Month. In fact, this week is National Senior Citizens Week and Tourism Awareness Week. Hoy es miércoles el 29 de septiembre 2021. Y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes, desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial Bienvenidos. C'est mercredi le 29 septembre 2021 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue! All we're saying is it's Wednesday, the 29th of September, 2021, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays as they set your agenda and break down the issues and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints shares ways you can find hope and healing no matter your circumstances. Here's a special opportunity to learn more of his teachings from living representatives of Jesus Christ. Join Power 106 FM this Sunday, October 3, from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. to hear a special message for the world. This special broadcast is brought to you by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Crosskill from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Crosskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Both Sides of the Story.
World Maritime Day focus during Both Sides of the Story is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University.
Indeed, a lot happening today. It's Inventors Day, International Coffee Day, World Heart Day, and the eve of World Maritime Day. And how delighted we are to be featuring the Caribbean Maritime University on a day like today. The day is tomorrow. The big day is tomorrow, World Maritime Day. And this broadcast is part of the build-up. The International Maritime Organization has chosen to make 2021 a year of action for seafarers. That's SEAFARERS. You'll hear more on that in a moment. especially those who are facing unprecedented hardship due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has placed extraordinary demands on seafarers, with hundreds of thousands of men and women stranded on ships for months beyond their original contracts. And we would have known of, that's one area. We would have heard of our own people, Jamaicans, stranded on ships in the early stages of COVID-19, etc. But more a little later on. The theme for World Maritime Day tomorrow is Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Seafarers at the core of shipping's future. And the idea is to increase the visibility of seafarers globally. World Maritime Day usually held or observed on the last Thursday in September. Specifically this year, tomorrow, the 30th of September. And there's a gentleman would like to introduce to you. He started his maritime career as a deck officer cadet at the Jamaica Maritime Training Institute in 1982. His maritime career extends more than 30 years, with a combination of serving at sea and working as a maritime education and training professional. And we could go on, but let's talk to the man himself, who currently works with the Faculty of Marine and Nautical Studies at the Caribbean Maritime University. He hails from my mother's parish, Portland, and is a graduate of the Titchfield High School. Let's say hello, welcome, and good afternoon to Captain Dervan Newman. Good afternoon, Captain. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dervan. I'm very well, thanks, and welcome to your listeners.
Thank you very much for joining us. Seafaring in 2021, the importance of the sector to Jamaica and the region, the role of the CMU in addressing, highlighting, and responding to those challenges. These are just some of the issues we want to touch on. But first, a lot of people may think of the Caribbean Maritime University as a new institution because of the name. But Captain, we gather you were among the first students at the Jamaica Maritime Training Institute back when what's now Caribbean Maritime University was founded on September 15, 1980. How did you get involved?
Okay, after completing sixth form at Titchfield, I really did not know what I wanted to do. Then one day, having accustomed to reading the Gleaner, I stumbled on an ad which invited applicants to pursue a career at sea. I applied, got selected from a group of approximately 400 applicants, and I was in the group of 30. The training was free at the time, and I enrolled for my pre-sea training. So the rest is history today.
History indeed. So you have seen the industry evolve from 1980 to some of the challenges being faced now. Can you just explain to us some of those challenges?
Yes, the industry has changed quite a bit. The technological advancement in shipbuilding is most pronounced in the way that ships are being built today in order to increase the automation and efficiency of operation. We have also seen, as a result of that, a reduction in the manning of ships, meaning the number of persons that are required to operate the ship. And we also have a growing shortage of seafarers, which indicates that there is a reduction in the interest of youngsters to go to sea. So we have a significant amount of attrition, and we need to replace all of these people that are leaving the industry to take over. We also see that there are a lot more stringent regulations being promulgated by, especially out of the IMO, in terms of safety of life at sea, marine pollution requirements, prevention, and so on. And the welfare of seafarers has also come into sharp focus in terms of the way that seafarers are being treated by their employers on board ships.
Before we go on, for those who are still at sea, hearing us talking about seafarers, who is a seafarer?
Well, a seafarer is someone who is employed in the capacity in any capacity on board a ship, and which is defined by SOLAS convention. So most often people think of seafarers as just the ones that are operating on cargo ships, but this definition also covers the people that are working on the cruise liners, the passenger ships, especially the ones from Jamaica working in the hospitality department. So they're also regarded as seafarers.
And let's talk about diversity. We're in an age now where there's a greater push for diversity, and nowhere else is that more pronounced now than ever is in our own army right here in Jamaica. Let's talk about diversity in the area of seafaring. How are we doing globally?
I would say there's some amount of acceptance in the industry today, but traditionally, we are faced with the challenges of the different nationalities, which would bring also different cultures on board ships. We also have to be embracing and accepting more and more the women working on board ships. Of course, there's a campaign out of the IMO that encourages the employment of women and for young women to get involved in this industry. So there's a special thrust to encourage women to join the industry. We also have a significant amount of changes in the way that we educate and train our officers and ratings. So we have quite a lot of diverse, but most of it has to do with the culture and the experience you get on board from that wide variety of nationalities that you may encounter on a ship.
Specifically, how is diversity treated at the Caribbean Maritime University?
Well, we have a responsibility to ensure that our trainees are exposed to some of these challenges at best, or we can afford that to be done. And what we do, we offer a special course in cultural relations and diversity, as well as personnel management. We have also trained seafarers from China, Nigeria, Panama, Croatia, Antigua, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas, St. Vincent, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Haiti, Peru, and 23% of our cadets today are female. So what we do is we also ensure that we bring a lot of the scenarios that are currently taking place on board and allow the trainees to be exposed to those activities, and they perform role play activities. We create case studies so that they can be aware, they can become more aware of what they are likely to expect when they get on board.
And so you, based on your experience and the trends, you are able to identify some of the issues and then bring these issues to the current crop of budding seafarers, or do you go beyond that in terms of just making public the situation with seafarers?
Well, what I try to do, what I've done is I've tried to arrange for webinars to get speakers involved. So I chair the committee for the Day of the Seafarer celebrations in June of this year, and organized and moderated 2 webinars titled Seafaring 2020 and Beyond in February. And I also chair the Technology Advancements in Shipping webinar in April. Tomorrow, I'll also be participating in an IMO webinar to celebrate World Maritime Day, as you mentioned earlier. And I also share a variety of information with my students on the latest developments in shipping. And I also engage them by creating scenarios, as I said before, for role play, depicting issues that are current in the industry.
It's not very common for us to ask students, what do you want to be when you grow up? And somebody puts up a hand and say, me, sir, I want to be a seafarer. How much of that paucity of personnel coming forward for this profession a function of a lack of knowledge and awareness of the opportunities which exist in the field of seafaring? Or is it that there are people who are in it and don't even realize that they're in it?
Well, yes, it's not so easy because traditionally speaking, Jamaica is not a seafaring nation. We are still very young in the business. But I think the foundation that was set by the Norwegians who started the school, the foundation was very good. And I'm a product of that system. And several of my colleagues who have been able to carry the torch, if you like, and try to encourage people to join. But we have a very effective and efficient marketing and communication unit, and they still go out and campaign and try to get youngsters involved. But how can we get the youngsters involved? And this has been, I've written some articles that have been published in the newspapers since this year, encouraging youngsters to join the career. The seafaring is a rewarding career. And
tell us some more about the rewards after the break. Listeners, it's the eve of World Maritime Day, and in partnership with the Caribbean Maritime University, we're highlighting that fact and also the work of the CMU in relation to seafaring, because this is in sharp focus in 2021 as we observe World Maritime Day tomorrow. Our guest is Captain Dervan Newman of the Faculty of Marine and Nautical Studies at the CMU.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Let's face it, these haven't been the best of times, but they aren't the worst of times either. At COK, we recognize that some of our members are finding it challenging navigating the new normal. But that's why we have initiated the COK Debt Amnesty. If you're having difficulties repaying your loans, come in, talk with us, get a waiver of up to 100% of the penalties due. Call 764-1509 or email amnesty@cokcu.com. Conditions apply.
Top graduate in English, Shakir Matthews.
Yes, I might be up with that.
What's new with you? PATH needs to know if your child is starting primary or secondary school so that you can continue to receive your benefits, including a nutritious lunch for your child.
You don't believe you are graduate. You just remember to tell the PATH people about our new school, is it?
Visit or call the Ministry of Labour and Social Security PATH Parish Office. We need to know so your child can grow with PATH.
Both sides of the story.
On Thursday, September 30, World Maritime Day will be celebrated under the theme Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Just ahead of these celebrations, join both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm today, Wednesday, September 29, between 2 and 5 p.m. for a special broadcast as he highlights seafarers and their core role in shipping, the future of the industry, and much more. This broadcast is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University. That's a live broadcast focusing on World Maritime Day during both sides of the story. Today, Wednesday, September 29, right here on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the story.
Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskill from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Croskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the story.
World Maritime Day focus during both sides of the story is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University.
Thanks a lot for staying with us this afternoon here on your program, Both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. We started this afternoon with the poetry of Ella Wheeler Wilcox, The Set of the Sail, otherwise known as One Ship Sails East. And we paired that with Water Music by George Frederick Handel. And if the music sounds familiar, that used to be the theme music for Schools Challenge Quiz in the old days. Yes, indeed. And how appropriate, because we're on the cusp of World Maritime Day. The theme is Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. That's the focus this year, and we're happy here at Power 106 FM, here on both sides of the story, to be a part of that experience. We've been learning a lot from Captain Dervan Newman. He is quite versed in these matters. He is doing a lot of work at the Faculty of Marine and Nautical Studies, and we are anxious to ask more questions. We hope we're not taking up too much of your time, Captain. Still with us?
Okay, yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Great. Thank you very much for staying with us here on both sides of the story. So now you were going on to tell us about how rewarding seafaring is, or can be, whichever way you look at it. Please, by all means, no doubt we have youngsters listening, children listening, those who are still contemplating what they want to do for the future. Maybe by the time you're finished explaining, Captain, they'll be stimulated and excited, and your phones will be ringing off the hook at Caribbean Maritime University.
Yes, Dervan. Of course, when we interact with the youngsters, they're always interested in the salary.
Always, yes, I'm not surprised.
That's the first thing. But I want to tell the youngsters that seafaring is a rewarding career. It's different, it's unique. It pays better than the average middle income earner ashore. And it raises your general safety awareness in terms of, how aware you can be in your surroundings. You gain international exposure, which makes you realize that the world is very different in so many ways. You get to travel to places that you probably would never have gone if you weren't a seafarer. You meet people of different cultures, which broadens your perspective on humanity, and the education provides you with a good academic background on which you can build if you plan to further your studies.
From what you've told us so far, Captain, it seems to be a wide group of people. Again, just to bring it home to those who are listening to us who have still not connected, to be able to say, hey, I could be that person. If you could delineate or just spell out for us once again some of the areas within the field of seafaring.
Well, we have, if I may, we train navigation and marine engineer cadets to become officers, and they will be junior officers at that level. And then further on, we train the junior officers to become senior officers. Now, coming out of the programs that we offer, they can become eventually marine pilots after serving some time at sea, marine engineers, automation engineers, cargo surveyors, marine inspectors, naval architects, maritime lecturers, marine casualty investigators, marine terminal managers. They could also join the Jamaica Defense Force Coast Guard or even the Marine Police arm of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. So essentially, that's where they can end up if they so desire, apart from serving at sea.
And let's put it out there, fairly or reasonably or very well compensated or remunerated?
Fairly, yes. They'll be satisfied with what they receive compared to if they were to remain ashore.
Mm-hmm. We hear you loud and clear. So on the eve of World Maritime Day, and as we get ready to wrap, Captain, what would you like those listening to us at home and abroad to know when they hear the theme for World Maritime Day 2021? The theme which tells us that seafarers at the core of shipping's future. Seafarers at the core of shipping's future. How should we process that on this, the eve of World Maritime Day?
The message that I would bring is that we need to be aware that we have there are about 70,000 ships still in the ocean, and they are being operated by approximately 2 million seafarers, of which about 3% are women. And they are responsible for transporting, they are seeing to it that their goods are transported all over the world. All these nice things that you purchase in the stores or that you're purchasing online, coming out of China, or if they're coming from somewhere else in Asia, the seafarers are responsible for that. So they are putting their lives at risk, exposing themselves to adverse weather conditions and trying to make sure that everything arrives safely. The energy supply, that distribution that is around the world in terms of liquefied natural gas or petroleum products, all of those, the seafarers are responsible for ensuring that they are delivered safely, transported from one port to another. So they are important, and I firmly believe that the seafarers have not received the attention that they truly deserve. But I think as time goes by and we continue to campaign and to share this information, that the general populace will become more aware.
And we have had some examples, haven't we, in this since the onset of COVID-19. I remember that ship stranded in the Suez Canal, for example, and the impact generally on the supply chain when ships don't operate as they should for whatever reason.
Right. So if there's a delay in the delivery of particular goods, that could be a good reason for the price of the commodity that has been delayed to increase. Yeah. So it is important that not only that we are ensuring that the cargoes are properly stored on board the ship, the operations of the ship and the movement of the ship through restricted waterways like the Suez Canal will be very, very important. And that was a very, very good example. And most people started to follow that story because it was such an enormous ship.
Yes.
It created so much attention in terms of how many ships were delayed for that period of time. So it really had a significant impact on the global economy.
And so the other point we wanted to get in as we wrap, the Jamaica is also well placed globally. I'm sure you'll tell me, as far as the maritime sector is concerned. I'm thinking of the IMO, for example, the International Maritime Organization. I think we've had, if not still have, representation there.
Yeah, well, we are currently on a campaign trail to get a seat on the council, and part of our effort tomorrow is to achieve that position on the council of the IMO. And the Maritime Authority of Jamaica and the Minister of Transport and Mining are very much involved, and we are a part of this effort in making sure that Jamaica will be selected. So we want to have a seat on the IMO so that we can continue to promote Jamaica, as small as we are, to ensure that we can create more opportunities for our youngsters to improve the quality of their lives and for their families.
And for you personally, what has been the most rewarding aspect of your career so far?
That's very difficult to say, but my reward comes from sitting here and to be visited by one of my trainee officers who has become successful. He has a good job at sea, and he's able to come back and say, thank you for all that you have done and what you have afforded me to become. So I'm satisfied with that.
And in terms of accepting students at the Caribbean Maritime University as seafarers, uh, is it the usual period of accepting applications from students?
Yes, it is normal for the tertiary institution. The practice is pretty much the same. Our intake is normally September, October. We have been affected by COVID-19 in terms of the CSEC results, which are scheduled to be out in October. So we have had to adjust our enrollment for the year one intake. But school is already in session for the returning students.
Well, we want to congratulate you and the team at Caribbean Maritime University for the work you continue to do and the significant way in which you have sought to promote the world of seafarers, and I put it that way deliberately, just to bring attention to the issues, to the rewards, and indeed all the facets contained therein, while at the same time, based on your wealth of knowledge and experience, you've shared a lot with us this afternoon. So on behalf of the team here at Power 106 FM, to you and your team at CMU, happy World Maritime Day when it comes tomorrow, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me on your program.
Anytime. Looking forward to doing it again. Captain Dervan S. Newman of the Caribbean Maritime University. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
The National Irrigation Commission Limited encourages efficient irrigation practices and responsible use of water. By doing so, we will allow the aquifer to be recharged and keep the supply flowing. A message from the National Irrigation Commission Limited. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
Our family and friends are a big part of who we are. And when it comes to keeping you connected to them, Grace Kennedy Money Services Western Union makes it safer and easier. Now friends and family overseas can use the Western Union app or westernunion.com to send money directly to your bank account without leaving home. Receive a Western Union money transfer directly into your bank account with a direct-to-bank service. Register online at gkmsonline.com and share your banking details with your sender so you don't have to leave home to collect.
The Caribbean Maritime University, an ISO certified institution, offers Bachelor of Science degrees in cruise shipping, logistics, engineering, marine tourism, port management, security administration, and management, among others. For further information, contact them 876-924-8150 or 924-8175 or email info@cmu.edu.jm.
It's the show that engages you with stimulating and intriguing discussions to spice up your night. It's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Hello.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Well, you may ask me a question. I may or may not answer.
Hear pertinent advice and share your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters. Get the answers you need for your burning questions. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
You know, look like she did love me to me. But me still, there's she pushed me out, so do my best, anyway.
That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, keeping your company Mondays to Thursdays from 10 p.m. till midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
It's young, it's fresh, it's worldviews from a youth perspective. It's Gen Z, navigating the ups and downs of everyday life. Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the story.
World Maritime Day focus during both sides of the story is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University.
Just before we get to our next guest on this very special day, the eve of World Maritime Day, the International Maritime Organization, we remind you, IMO, if in our conversation with our guests you hear reference to IMO, they're talking about the International Maritime Organization. And the organization has chosen to make 2021 a year of action for seafarers who are facing, and we touched on it with Captain Newman, facing unprecedented hardship due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we have seen and heard and experienced the ripple effect, the domino effect, just how connected we are as a people globally, and the global supply chain, which we have heard so much about over the last 19 months or so. And a lot of seafarers have been under serious pressure. The COVID-19 pandemic has placed extraordinary demands on seafarers. Hundreds of thousands of men and women stranded on ships for months beyond their original contracts, unable to be repatriated. And as we said, remember earlier on in the pandemic, we heard stories of so many Jamaicans trying to come back home from all over the world, working on these ships, cruise ships for the most part, and other vessels as well. And the efforts to bring home these Jamaicans. And that would have been quite palpable for those who were at sea in terms of the connection with seafarers. It's a critical role. There was also the crew change crisis, because like in any system, there are shifts. Even right here at Power 106 FM, there are shifts as far as program hosts and program assistants are concerned. And if for whatever reason your relief doesn't come on time or doesn't come at all, then you might end up having to do a double and a triple and so on and so forth. Now imagine this happening at sea, and in some instances going nearly a year. It really has been a humanitarian emergency threatening the safety of shipping. And we'll continue to keep these matters on the front burner as the program progresses. But please allow us to greet our faithful listeners at home and abroad, like Norman Hines in St. Thomas. Welcome, Norman. Shines for Life says, blessed afternoon at Uncle D. Welcome, Shines for Life. Cherry Henry says, good day, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Be safe. You too, Cherry Henry. Olga Hollingshead says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and all your diaspora listening family and friends everywhere. Peace and love for a wonderful afternoon. Patricia Barnes is in touch with us as well. Welcome, Patricia. Good to see you. Jeannie Chambers, good afternoon. Nicola in Mandeville, Manchester. Darrell, where is Darrell again? Please remind us, Darrell Blake. Richard Nelson, good afternoon to you too. Thank you for joining us. Velta Wilson, also in St. Thomas. She says, hello, Mr. Malcolm. How are you doing today? I'm fine, thanks. And you, Velta Wilson, hope all is well, she says. How are all other listeners doing? Dave Ian Paddy says, good afternoon, Dervan, Malcolm. Enough respect to you and your listeners. Thank you, Dave. And Patricia Barnes now greeting everyone. Jennifer Stewart from Q Road in Kencott, East Central St. Andrew, is in touch with us, wanting us to send happy birthday greeting to Dejon Thompson. Happy birthday, Dejon, Daejohn, Dejon Johnson. Happy birthday to you, and hello to Mrs. Sybil Thompson. Always a pleasure to have you listening in here on both sides of the story. Inez Iona Campbell in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Good to have you on board. Thank you very much for joining us. Ellis Dugan is telling us hello from London, Canada. Yes, indeed, there is a place in Canada called London, and that is where Elise Dugan is greeting us from. Hello as well to Angela in Toronto, Canada. Good to have you on board as usual, Angela. Sham White says, hey, Dervan, good afternoon. A blessed day to you too, Sham White. Chuck Ray says, today is my birthday, Dervan. Happy birthday, Chuck Ray. Good to have you on board. Angela in Toronto, Canada is saying hi via a personalized emoji. Hi to you too, Angela. We haven't seen you in a while, so we perhaps won't be able to identify you the next time we are in the same place. You'll have to reintroduce yourself. It's been so long, Angela, but it's good to have you on board. Let's greet those who are watching on YouTube. Rosie Posey says, CMU. Carol Boyd says, good afternoon, Dervan and listeners. Wishing everyone a blessed Wednesday. Joseph Tavares says, good day, my friend. Coming in from Negril. Be safe on the road. Coming in from Negril, Jeffrey Tavares. And let's just make sure we have greeted most of our listeners and viewers who are already online. Reverend MacDonald in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Thank you very much for tuning in. Angelia in London. Good. Well, it's now 8:55 p.m. in London. Good evening to you, Angelia Christian of the Angel Foundation, on the heels of your 10th anniversary celebration community expo, which was held in Tottenham. Trust all went well. Ricardo in Glengough, St. Catherine, good to have you on board. Steve in London is in touch with us as well. And Steve is sharing, Black History Month program at Wellingborough African Caribbean Association, 27 to 29 Rock Street, Wellingborough. NN84LW. That's the zip, and we'll perhaps tell you about this program of activities as time goes on. Steve will be in touch with you for more information in that regard. And I think, let's see now. I think that's where we're going to leave the greetings and the shout outs for now here on both sides of the story. Let's get back to the matter at hand. Donovan Campbell, we see you on YouTube. Good afternoon to you too. Thank you very much for tuning in. We have been featuring seafarers on this the eve of World Maritime Day, observed the last Thursday in the month of September. And tomorrow is the day, but we're starting the build-up from today and creating the awareness from today. So when tomorrow comes, more of us would have a better idea of what's happening as far as maritime matters go. And maritime does matter. The theme for World Maritime Day 2021, which is tomorrow, is Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Seafarers at the core of shipping's future. And a lot of work is being done, and there is more to come, as we have heard from Captain Dervan S. Newman, who serves in the Faculty of Marine and Nautical Studies at the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU. Coming up in a couple of minutes, it will be time for us to speak with Professor Ajaguna. Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna. He's standing by to speak with us. He holds a higher national diploma from the Federal Polytechnic, Ida, Nigeria, a Master of Science degree from Sheffield Hallam University, UK, a postgraduate diploma in education from the University of Technology, Jamaica, and a Doctor of Philosophy in Sustainable Development from the University of the West Indies, Jamaica. Since joining the CMU in 2008, he has helped to transform the academic landscape of the institution from a mere 5 associate degree programs to more than 23 undergraduate and 5 postgraduate degree programs. And he is gearing up to tell us more as we get ready to take the break. And after the break, we're going to come back with our guest in this next segment, Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is advising pregnant and breastfeeding mothers to get vaccinated against COVID-19. This is in line with recommendations from the World Health Organization and having regard to evidence which suggests that pregnant women with COVID-19 are at higher risk of developing severe illness compared with non-pregnant women of reproductive age. COVID-19 in pregnancy has also been associated with an increased risk of preterm birth and of newborns requiring neonatal intensive care. Pregnant women who are 35 years and older or have high body mass index or an existing comorbidity such as diabetes or hypertension are at particular risk of serious outcomes from COVID-19. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hello. We all love reading the words of Jesus in the scriptures, and General Conference is a special opportunity to hear more of his teachings from living representatives of Jesus Christ. With millions of people watching worldwide, it's like attending church with a global family. We hope you can join us this Sunday on Power 106 FM from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.
It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays as they set your agenda and break down the issues and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
All the fans of soca. The dancehall kings and queens. This Saturday, October 2, it's Soca Pink Dancehall on main frequency. Powered by Spring Vodka, the world's #1 vodka. You know from 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Women nice and summer one. Women nice and summer one.
Get ready for the ultimate dance all-night party featuring music by the Soca and Dancehall Shadows, King Dash, DJ Deli, and DJ Roderick. Party with the one and only Talia as we show off our Smyrna vodka mixes in our VIP Zoom Watch Yourself area and live on Fame 95, Hit 2 and Horror TV, online at Spot Media, and on Mixcloud at Fame Frequency. Fame Frequency, Soca Pink Dancehall. Let's go!
Last time that I check, we just mash up all fit. Last time that I check, whole party get wreck. Last time that I check, everybody in sweat.
Both sides of the story.
World Maritime Day focus during both sides of the story is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on Power 106 FM and so many other platforms. We introduced to you earlier on, just before the break, our guest who has joined us now in this segment as we continue to prepare you for tomorrow's big day, World Maritime Day. This is the eve of World Maritime Day. The theme for 2021 is Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Seafarers at the core of shipping's future. And the idea is to increase the visibility of seafarers and to make public and to discuss the challenges, the issues, the opportunities, etc., etc., etc. And so right now we are going to welcome a gentleman who hails from a country that, and this is what I find most fascinating about Nigeria, by the way, they speak more than 525 native languages. Not one, not two, not 10, more than 525 native languages. Of course, most of them speak English, about 79 million or so. And that always fascinates me. So pardon me for sharing my fascination at this time as you join us. Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna, Deputy President of Caribbean Maritime University. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dervan, and a good afternoon to all your listeners out there.
Great. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure to be with you this afternoon.
Pleasure to have you on board. Would love to get a little more volume, a little more strength in the voice, if you can help us, please, Professor Ajaguna.
Okay, all right. Is it better this time around?
Yeah, that's a little better. Thank you very much. Now, Professor, you joined the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, and have been at the forefront of the expansion of the CMU. And as we've pointed out, you're Nigerian. How did you come to be a part of the CMU family?
Thank you very much, Malcolm. I joined the university full-time in 2008, having been with them from 2006 to assist in developing a curriculum, especially the upper part of the diploma and the associate degree that existed at that time. But I must say that prior to coming to the Caribbean Maritime Institute, my initial appointment or employment was with Immaculate Conception High School, after which I joined Excelsior Community College, and from Excelsior Community College I came to CMU. In 2006, CMI came under new management with Professor Pinnock being the executive director and Mrs. Vivek Grant as the deputy executive director. The institution was looking at that time to expand its program offerings, and through my association with Professor Pinnock, I was invited to assist in that regard. And having worked at the community college with, good knowledge of curriculum development, and then for a number of years, I felt that I could offer myself to CMI at that time to help in the curriculum exercise. And I embraced that challenge when it was put to me, and then I was engaged on a part-time basis, and that was where the story started.
Yes. And the having been there from CMU was CMI, how would you characterize the evolution of the institution?
Well, I must say that the evolution started from when I came in 2006, and then when I came here, I realized that there are some key units that are not available at the institute at that time, which is registry, examination unit, and the quality assurance. And through my recommendation to the executive director and the deputy then, those units were expanded. And I must say that an institution can only expand based on its program offerings, and that is what has happened to this institution over time. What used to be 3 associate degrees and a diploma has now expanded to include approximately 23 bachelor degrees and 5 master degrees. And the student population from about 400 in 2006-2007 has gone to approximately 3,000 students now.
What?
Yeah, 3,000 now. However, the pandemic affected us over the last 2 years, because in 2019, the student population was 3,500. And so also has the faculty and support staff grown over this period of time. I remember when I came, maybe about 5 full faculty members, but now it has grown over 100 plus. We are not so worried about what has affected us now in terms of student enrollment. I'm talking of the pandemic now. And I believe that it is just a matter of time. Everything will normalize with the vaccine being available to us now. We're encouraging our staff members, our students to get vaccinated. And just as the student population and the staff has grown over the year, the institution also continues to expand its infrastructure to meet this serious demand.
I wanted to ask that very question. What drove the expansion? What led to the expansion? But I think you just said it. Student demand.
The student demand, yes, and the number of program offering. And if you could remember, Malcolm, around 2010, 2011, thereabout, Jamaica was promoting the concept of a logistics hub, a global logistics hub.
Yes.
And that actually drew, we went with the government at that time to carry the campaign across the island. And that actually catapulted the students' population from about 600, thereabout then, to 3,000, and then it grew to 3,500. And one thing I must tell you, though, Malcolm, this may be very funny.
Mm-hmm.
The gate to the institute in 2007, when I just came around here, that gate is now in the middle of the university. It's now in the middle of the university. Only those who have been with the university for the past 10 years, we understand what I'm talking about. And the growth has been phenomenal. And the future of CMI, I must tell you, is bright. Mm-hmm. And there is no going back. Yes. We have competent persons that are working with us now. The university has just gone through transformation, which I think my other colleague will be talking to you about when you interview her later.
Yes. Now, what kind of job opportunities, or just opportunities in general, has this expansion of your program offerings at the Caribbean Maritime University? What has this meant for those who are now attending CMU or are looking to join the other students at the CMU? What does this expanded CMU have in store as far as opportunities for the very students themselves are concerned?
I tell you this, Malcolm. We took experience with what happened to the tourism industry. We know that the largest foreign exchange earner to this country is through tourism. But we did not get it right initially because as the industry developed, we did not develop the human element at the same time. And having recognized this, we don't want this to happen to the shipping and the logistics industry. And that is why we took it upon ourselves to expand our programs to train both at the grass level, the middle level management, and at the top level management. And if you go across the Caribbean now, you find that almost every port that you go in the Caribbean now, you will find one CMI or CMU past student, and at a senior management level. You know that I think my colleague would have told you earlier on that the flagship of this university is the marine program, both marine engineering and marine navigation. So we train people for seagoing vessels. And I must tell you, and probably Captain Numa would have told you earlier on that we have also ventured into the cruise industry. We now have our cadets joining cruise cruise ships. Other job opportunity that exist is logistics directors, logistics officers, logistics managers, port managers, port directors, port chief executive officers. I can name about two ports in the Caribbean now whose executive officers are past students of CMU, shipping agents, port managing directors, managers, and officers, industrial engineers. I must tell you that the industry gravitates towards our engineering graduates because you find many of them as plant managers, maintenance managers, and officers in companies like JPS, Water Commission, processing plants, manufacturing plants. And one important one, which I must not leave out, is our security program. 80% of students on that program, they are military officers, they are police officers. So we also train for that sector of the industry. And of course, custom officers. And one of our new programs also prepares students to take on their responsibility with the immigration department. So the opportunity abounds for anybody who attempt to study with us or who choose to study with us at this university.
Sounds like you have your hands full at the CMU in terms of opportunities to be shared and indeed to prepare these students at CMU for. One moment, Professor Ajaguna. We have more questions after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15. The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic with the added danger of variants has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight. And with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We got to be ready. Cause stocks getting traded. Just said, don't you worry. Living in the positive.
Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Crosskill from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Crosskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. It's a special edition of Both Sides of the Story, and we thank Vivette Malcolm, Senior Sales Consultant, long-standing member of the team here at Power 106 FM, for her role in coordinating sponsorship on this broadcast. And we thank Archibald Gordon and the entire team at the CMU for their work behind the scenes to bring to public attention a significant day as World Maritime Day, which is tomorrow. And the theme for 2021 is Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Seafarers at the core of shipping's future. And we've already heard from Captain Dervan Newman. Captain Dervan Newman is a member of the Faculty of Marine and Nautical Studies. And since then, we have transitioned to speaking with Deputy President of the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna. Thank you very much for holding, Professor Ajaguna.
Thank you very much, Malcolm.
Great. So now, there are a number of youngsters who would love to attend Caribbean Maritime University. They're passionate, perhaps. They are intrigued by seafaring, but they don't have the funds, or their parents or guardians don't have the funds. They don't have that kind of support. Is there a program that provides opportunities to such youngsters seeking to pursue studies at the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU?
Thank you very much, Dervan. I must tell you that the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has been very kind to this institution over a number of years. I think for last year and this academic year, they made available to us 100 scholarships for engineering students. And I must say to you that, in fact, we have to be conversing the students to take up this scholarship from the Ministry of Education. Every year it is available, and we believe also that this partnership with the Ministry of Education will continue into the future. I must say also that apart from the Ministry of Education, there are other agencies that provide scholarships to the university. One important one is American Caribbean Maritime Foundation, which is in New York. They've been working with the university for a number of years. In fact, their reach is across the Caribbean. So this gives other people from other Caribbean islands the opportunity to come to Jamaica to study. American Caribbean Maritime Foundation provides all the necessary tuition to support these students. And I must say that the president of that association is also a Jamaican, Dr. Janine Mesga. In addition to that, we also have a new Fortress Energy that is equally providing annual scholarship to our students. And for New Fortress Energy, they don't only provide scholarship, they also help in the developmental activities of the university. They also provide the money to feed those students that cannot afford to do so when they come to the university. And of course, we cannot leave out the Caribbean Shipping Association, because we are a maritime and logistics port institution. So the Caribbean Shipping Association has been providing scholarships in the tune of $20,000 every year to our students. So there are a number of scholarships available, and the university has actually assigned an officer who resides in the registry department to handle all scholarship opportunities. And this officer will also go out to hunt for additional scholarships for our students. The last 1 year, or the last academic year to this one, has been a very challenging one. Just as I indicated earlier on, we have experienced a fall in student population, and this is just because their parents cannot afford it and the students cannot afford it. Normally, the students would travel abroad to go and work and pay their school fees, but the pandemic actually has been a bottleneck in this area. So we believe that the pandemic will soon be over, and then life can be normal again.
Yes, no, sounds like a lot of scholarships available for those who wish to pursue studies at the Caribbean Maritime University. Is there a central point that potential recipients can go to in order to access this wealth of information on scholarships at the Caribbean Maritime University, Professor Ajaguna?
Yes, sir, they can go on our website, www.cmu.edu.jm. I take it again, www.cmu.edu.jm. And prospective students can also call to the registry department, and then they will be put to the scholarship officer.
Now, if you could provide us with a suite of programs offered at CMU, how would you list those programs? Because there are, again, people listening who no doubt are looking to pursue certain careers. They're perhaps not sure of the program offerings in its entirety. Can you help us in that regard and help those potential students to better prepare themselves for some of these courses or programs of study at CMU?
Yes, sir. And let me begin with the graduate program. We have a master's degree in logistics and supply chain management.
Hold on, I like that one. A master's degree in logistics and supply management.
Supply chain.
Chain, important, and that is critical. In fact, I it would be great to see a lot more people running in that direction, because we need more of those to be able to manage. Poor UK right now having issues with logistics and not enough drivers for these lorries, as they call them. We call them trucks here in Jamaica. So to be able to organize and manage and strategize and try as best as possible to minimize a break in that global supply chain. Well, train, pun intended too.
Chain, yes.
I know it's chain, but but you get the picture. No, I love that one. That's one worth pursuing. So just yes, go ahead.
I must tell you, Dervan, that is our biggest graduate program.
Oh,
yeah, it's the biggest graduate program, because we also have people who have obtained a master's degree from other institutions come to do that program, and they have done well. And I must tell you that probably 99% of people in that program are employed. And when the students
no, that's significant. Hold on, we have to emphasize that 99%.
I must tell you, yes.
Of those who pursue the masters in logistics and supply chain management at the CMU are employed.
I'm saying that to you because apart from our marketing department monitoring where are they now, I also do the same thing personally. I think almost every student who have gone through that program, I know them by their names and by their faces, and I have their numbers and their email addresses. I do monitor them. I must say that that program, Dervan, is been accredited by the University Council of Jamaica, and it is again now due for re-accreditation. And that program has equally been accredited by the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport out of UK, and that is the biggest professional association or qualification in the area of logistics. Any students who graduate from that master program automatically becomes a chartered member when they submit their application of that association. So that is one big one.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a master's degree in security management and administration. This one focuses on the police officers, the military officers, and we have had officers from outside of Jamaica, like from the military outfit in the Bahamas, came here to complete that master's degree. We have a diplomat who have come to complete that program here at CMU. We also have a Master's of Science in Industrial Engineering. That is also a big one.
Yes, Master of
Yes.
Science in Industrial Engineering.
Yes, it's a big one.
Yeah.
We have a Master of Science in Logistics Engineering, because what is happening now is that there is a new trend in the industry where most of the activities now are based on the artificial intelligence, computer application, and all those things. And when we assess the market and we see that this is the new direction, we develop that master's degree. And the last one is security studies, which is one of our newest master's degree programs. So those are the 5 graduate programs that we offer. At the undergrad level, we have bachelor's degree in logistics and supply chain management, bachelor's degree in port management, bachelor's degree in international shipping, bachelor's degree in cruise shipping and marine tourism. And you know, Dervan, that cruise industry is the fastest growing of the tourism industry now. So
yes, we have had about 3 cruise ships already,
even with the pandemic.
Yep.
It's a big industry, so we also focus in that area. We have a bachelor's degree in security administration and management, bachelor's degree in custom processes, freight forwarding, and immigration. Here now we are talking of border control, you know. So we train in that area.
Security. Hold it there. Tell us some more after the break, please.
You contribute directly to Jamaica's national development when you pay your customs duties. Let's all do our part in keeping the wheels of our economy turning. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays, as they set your agenda and break down the issues and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. It's a special edition brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, on this, the eve of World Maritime Day, to be observed tomorrow under the theme Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Seafarers, Seafarers, wide group, isn't it? All the different areas they are involved in, and they are the toast of World Maritime Day 2021. The International Maritime Organization has chosen to make this year a year of action for seafarers. A lot of them, as we've been sharing and discussing, facing unprecedented hardship due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But they are resilient, and they continue to play their part in creating a more predictable environment insofar as is possible under these conditions, as far as the global supply chain is concerned. but critical to developing our marine sector here in Jamaica is Caribbean, and not just Jamaica, but the rest of the region and indeed the world. The Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, is critical to that work. And that's why we've been speaking with Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna, Deputy President of the Caribbean Maritime University. And he has been sharing a lot of information with us as far as the offerings of the program offerings at the Caribbean Maritime University is concerned. So you were on the point of security as we were taking the break, Professor Ajaguna, and it sounded as if you had a little more to say.
Definitely, yes, Dervan. I was thinking in relation to the security program. How did that come about? We're in partnership with Kingston Walls Limited. And you remember after 9/11, the ports were mandated, to put some security measures in place. And in conjunction with Security Administrators Limited, a subsidiary of Kingston Walls Limited, we used to offer a program which we call Port Facility Security Officers. But during that program, we realized that, during the offering, we realized that participants from other Caribbean islands asking for a degree in that area, and that is what led us to develop the Bachelor of Science in Security Administration and Management. And it has been doing well. It's a part-time program, weekend program. Captain Numa would have told you about the program offerings in his faculty, Bachelor of Engineering in Marine Engineering, and Bachelor of Navigation. Those are the two flagship programs for the university. In the engineering unit, we have Bachelor of Engineering in Industrial Systems, and I must tell you, that is the preferred choice for most industrial concerns in Jamaica. Our students are all over the place, as senior managers, officers, and a lot of them are equally attracted to Canada because of the skill that program provides. Also in engineering, we have mechatronics, we have artificial intelligence, and a host of others. Probably your next broadcast, maybe next year broadcast, you should do it from here.
Yes.
Where you should do it from here, where we can put you in our FESTO lab, the FESTO authorized certification and training center, a state-of-the-art lab that we use to train our engineers. It's fantastic, I must tell you.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there is a number of opportunities that are open to our students and to prospective students. And the important thing is that we do not train for jobs of yesterday. We train for jobs of tomorrow. And that is why you find that our graduates easily pick up jobs. Some of them would have suffered during this pandemic period for lack of a job placement, but we know that this is going to change very soon.
And from your perspective, as we shift a bit, but still within the realms of World Maritime Day tomorrow and the focus on seafarers, what is your perspective as Deputy President of the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, with respect to the focus this year on seafarers?
Seafarers at the core of shipping future. I just give you a quick story. This morning, I was chatting with one of our past students, and as she told me that she's been in China for the past 2 months. The ship that she was supposed to join couldn't sail because the ship is under repair. Now you can imagine you are not at your home, hometown. You are not with your people, and you're staying in a hotel for a period of 2 months, waiting to join a ship. I think it's critical. So I believe that the theme that is chosen this year, core of shipping future, is very accurate and adequate. because there is need to increase the visibility of the seafarers. In fact, one of our colleagues here is been asking that the government needs to show more interest in this area and to make a Jamaican population more seafaring aware, because many of us do not know the opportunity that this profession actually presents to us. That's when you can imagine.
Yes.
You work for 6 months, you pay no rent, you buy no food, you don't buy clothing, you are provided with uniform. It means you can return to Jamaica with 100% of your earning. That is something
Yes.
to this country. So, and also for the fact that we have one of us who has been the chairperson for the IMO training arm of IMO. That's Rear Admiral Peter Brady,
Yes.
a gentleman and somebody who is very vast in this area. We want to see him go back also to head another unit with IMO. And I must say that we continue to grow that program. It was an associate degree. It has been expanded to a bachelor's degree, and it's going to grow up to a master's degree. We want to see many other people from other countries come here to train in that area.
How are we doing in that regard, though? What's the level of interest like from other countries as far as studying at Caribbean Maritime University is concerned?
Well, that has been growing over time, Dervan. Presently, we have, I think, 11 students from China that are studying with us.
No, but that is big, you students from China
yes,
coming to Jamaica to study at Caribbean Maritime University.
Yes, sir.
That's big.
That's big. And we also have from across the Caribbean. We have a student from Peru coming to study with us. And of course, we have a student from Nigeria in the past. We do not have any Nigerian students now.
But of course, you're the perfect ambassador to go and get them in Nigeria and tell them to come.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
And we're doing that. And we also have a student from the Bahamas, from other Caribbean islands, almost every Caribbean island. And we also know the big thing about it, Dervan. We are the training partner of the Port Management Associations of the Caribbean. So we provide training to almost all the ports in the Eastern Caribbean, in stevedoring, in the security, in safety, and all that.
And I would imagine because the systems and the processes and are universal and universally accepted, it makes for a seamless program of studies, because this is what is there are certain established standards and procedures, and so once there's anyone studying in this region, they are going to be brought up to date with what the regional and international expectations are.
Of course, yes. You are quite correct. Because of the standardization of our program, CMU, I must tell you, is the most audited university in Jamaica and probably in the Caribbean, if I must say.
Oh, say that again. CMU is the most audited institution in the region. How so?
In the region, we are an ISO certified institution.
Oh,
yeah.
ISO, that stands for International Standards Organization. So you have ISO certification at the Caribbean Maritime University.
We do have that
therefore, from
2009.
From 2009. So you can't afford to slip at all in terms of the quality of the output of the institution. You're constantly being surveyed, being watched, being audited, as you said, to ensure that you're maintaining and indeed surpassing the standards.
That is correct, sir. And we are also monitored by the Maritime Authority of Jamaica that represent IMO. IMO has its standards, so we have to conform with IMO standards. If we do not conform with IMO standards, our certification, the whitelisting authority that we have will be taken from us. The Maritime Authority monitors us every year, unlike other accreditation bodies. Take, for instance, majority of our programs are accredited by the University Council of Jamaica. In fact, if you are to be accredited by any other body outside of Jamaica, the first question they ask you, are you accredited by your local authority, which is the University Council of Jamaica? So we cannot play with that.
Yes.
So our programs, we go through them for accreditation. They recently conducted an exercise between June 5 and 11 this year to do some audits, and they will be returning between November 2nd to the 7th to audit additional programs. And apart from this, government, we also have an extensive in-house audit ourselves, because we have a quality assurance unit that monitors every activity. I'm not saying that we do not have a problem, because we are all human, but we try as much as possible to meet those basic standards that are set by these accreditation bodies. We are also accredited by the European Logistics Association out of France. We have their certification. We are also accredited by accreditation services for universities and colleges out of UK. It's called ASIC. We have their certification. We are also accredited by, I think those are the major.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of a pedigree globally based on all you've said so far. Let's come back and wrap after this break, please, Professor Ajaguna, Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna, the Deputy President of the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, sponsors of this special edition of Both Sides of the Story on the eve of World Maritime Day. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the added danger of variants, has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight. And with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We got to be ready. Cause time's getting treated. Just said, don't you worry.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is urging Jamaicans to get vaccinated against COVID-19 with the AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson vaccines currently available. The next shipment of Pfizer vaccines will be given only to children 12 years and older and to those persons who are due their second dose. To register to become vaccinated, members of the public are encouraged to make their appointments online at moh.gov.jm or call the vaccination call center at 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683.
Both sides of the story.
On Thursday, September 30, World Maritime Day will be celebrated under the theme Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Just ahead of these celebrations, join Both Sides of the Story with host Dervan Malcolm today, Wednesday, September 29, between 2 and 5 p.m. for a special broadcast as he highlights seafarers and their core role in shipping, the future of the industry, and much more. This broadcast is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University. That's a live broadcast focusing on World Maritime Day during both sides of the story. Today, Wednesday, September 29, right here on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the
in the positive.
Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskell from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Croskell on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the story.
World Maritime Day focus during both sides of the story is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University. Seafarers at the core of shipping's future. That's the theme for World Maritime Day tomorrow, Thursday, the 30th of September, as the world turns its attention to this critical area, critical to all our lives, wherever in the world we live, work, study, play, visit. It's all connected. It's all connected. And the International Maritime Organization, IMO, has chosen to make 2021 a year of action for seafarers, those facing unprecedented hardship due to the COVID-19 pandemic, as we've been sharing extraordinary demands on seafarers with hundreds of thousands of men and women stranded on ships for months. And you would have recalled that unfolding here in Jamaica and elsewhere. People just trying to get back home, stranded on these ships all across the world. And in the end, as we heard from Captain Newman earlier on, it's well worth it. Well worth it. It's very rewarding. It's a very rewarding experience to know how much the world depends on seafarers, and that should be motivation enough for seafarers to give it their best at all times. And we thank Captain Dervan Newman of the Faculty of Marine and Nautical Studies for sharing with us earlier on. And we thank the Deputy President of the Caribbean Maritime University, Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna, for all he has been able to share with us so far. So much happening at the Caribbean Maritime University. Professor Ajaguna, what is the future looking like? Will you have to wear these shades? You know, there's somebody I heard with it some time ago that your future is so bright that you have to wear shades. Is that your outlook?
Let me understand what you mean by wearing shades.
Meaning that your future is so bright. You know, we normally wear shades to protect our eyes from the sun, the brilliance of the sun shining on us. So I'm saying, from all you have told us, from all you have shared with us, from all we have learned as well from Captain Newman, the future of Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, is so bright that you're going to have to wear glasses, shades, dark glasses.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Like I said earlier on, the core focus is sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier on, we have been growing from a 400 students, 400 million budget to over 2 billion budget now. 40 members of staff to almost 300 members of staff. The university is growing and there is no stopping. Sometimes about 3 or 4 years ago, the Prime Minister recognized the growth of the institution, and he actually recommended when he visited us here to say that, no, you guys, you have overgrown here. We need to find you a new site. In the process of looking for a new site, we got ourselves into a pandemic, and we have to put that on a hold. I must tell you, the future is very, very bright for this institution.
Yes.
We focus on a niche,
Mm-hmm.
and the niche is getting bigger and bigger. Like I said earlier on, we now have students coming from as far as China. We are in collaboration with a university in South Korea. We are in collaboration with a university in Panama, in Peru. We signed MOU with 3 universities in Nigeria, also planning to offer programs in this area and to have a partnership with the Caribbean Maritime University. 2005, 2006, this institution was not known in Harborview, the location where the institution resides. But
Yes.
look at it today. It has become a global name, if I should say. It has become a global institution, and it is going to grow further. In fact, at one point, we were contemplating having a campus in China, having campus in Africa, having campuses all over. But I know that it's going to happen. It is not going to be my time, and we know that it will eventually happen. We want to emulate our brother up at Mona that has grown its wings so wide, with focus in different areas. But we want to continue to focus in this area because shipping is the future. Either it is automated or we continue to operate the way we are doing now. Shipping is the future, and who knows what we have been promoting, the logistics hub, maybe it will eventually happen in Jamaica. And if that happens, we have to provide the workforce to cater for the various activities. Value added and all that at the different warehouses and at the logistics parks, special economic zones, and all that. And also, transportation is very big.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of work.
It's another work in itself. So
Yes.
the university has a bright future. And if I may use the word that you use, I don't know, probably we may have to use something that is more opaque than a shade to cover our face in the future.
Yes, indeed. Well, we congratulate you and the team at the Caribbean Maritime University on the work that you continue to do in preparing the personnel that we will need in logistics, not just here in Jamaica and the region, but indeed the world. And the demand is not slowing down anytime soon. Yes, COVID-19 has had its impact and is still impacting the world, but it doesn't take away from the fact that we will still need to be connected logistically and otherwise. And if we don't prepare our people to take up these positions, then we're going to find ourselves in a situation where we have to be I don't want to say importing people, but trying to fill positions, because there'll be so many opportunities that if we're not careful, we miss out on these opportunities if we don't prepare ourselves, like going to the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, to upskill ourselves and to prepare ourselves for what is to come. Because as my late mother would say, "An a supna go, a supna come." In other words, it's not something that's going away, it's something that is coming. Well done, Professor Ajaguna.
Thank you very much, sir. And before you close, let me
Yes.
just, on behalf of our president and the senior management team at the university and the entire staff, I want to say a big thank you for giving us this opportunity to talk about our story on air. And also, I want to thank your listeners for staying with us for this 30, 40 minutes discussion.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks a lot. All the best.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Take care. Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna, Deputy President of the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, sharing with us the prospects on this, the eve of World Maritime Day, being observed tomorrow, Thursday, the 30th of September, under the theme, Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Our next guest is waiting in the wings. She is Dr. Tanisha Ingleton. She holds the LLB degree from the University of London, a PhD from the University of Saskatchewan in Canada, a Master of Philosophy with distinction, a postgraduate diploma in education with distinction, and the Bachelor of Arts with first-class honors with the University of the West Indies. She has served the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information for 7 years, 4 of those years as Director Principal for the National College for Educational Leadership, NCEL. Her dissertation, research, and scholarly writing have been focused on transformational leadership and leadership development. She has published papers on leadership development, language, and culture. She has also traveled extensively for consulting engagements, conference presentations, and as a keynote speaker at scholarly events. After the break, we will hear from Dr. Tanisha Ingleton.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Under the law. Know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. Under the law.
Brought to you today by the Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Whether you're a small farmer, street vendor, big investor, every entrepreneur got to wise up about your money. You have to make sure say your money secure. When you need to grow, you have access to more.
Financial inclusion means that individuals and businesses have access to useful and affordable financial products and services that meet their needs.
Access to more money, more credit, whatever your business needs. When you work hard for your money must work for you.
Jenny, when I see the sign McDonald's Faster Money Limited, I feel so proud of you. You have your own remittance agency.
Approved by the Bank of Jamaica as a primary agent of the popular international remittance provider. And we're operating 1 year already.
Great. You in Mobay too?
We don't have a branch in Mobay, Claudia.
I saw the big sign on St. James Street last week.
We have sub-agents, but they have been authorized by BOJ to operate only from approved locations in Kingston and St. Andrew. You went inside?
Yes. And what seems strange to me is that I didn't see any certificate on the wall, like the one you have in this branch.
BOJ has to authorize operations at all locations. They also visit the locations as part of their due diligence process. But we never made any arrangements with anyone in Mobay. You were smart to look for the certificate, but you must also check the BOJ website to see if BOJ listed that address as an authorized location. I know it's not there.
You need to report this to BOJ right away. I have the name and address right here.
Come, let's go to BOJ now.
A primary agent is the money transfer and remittance agent or agency that enters into an agreement with an approved remittance service provider, overseas provider, domiciled in an overseas jurisdiction to transmit money from Jamaica and or to receive money in Jamaica. Our primary agent must receive separate approval from Bank of Jamaica to operate remittance services at each premises. The operations of the business are to be carried on only at premises which have been approved by Bank of Jamaica. Primary agents are required to display conspicuously at the premises of the money transfer and remittance business, including sub-agency locations, the original certificate for the operation of a money transfer and or remittance business, which shall be issued by the bank on granting or renewal of approval. That's how it is under the law.
Brought to you today by the Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Join us Wednesdays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and 9:55 p.m. on Power 106 FM for Under the Law.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints shares ways you can find hope and healing no matter your circumstances. Here's a special opportunity to learn more of his teachings from living representatives of Jesus Christ. Join Power 106 FM this Sunday, October 3, from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. to hear a special message for the world. This special broadcast is brought to you by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Both sides of the story.
World Maritime Day focus during Both Sides of the Story is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University.
Que hora es en español? Son las 4:04. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:04. 现在地点了4点04分. 4 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. It's a special edition, the pre-World Maritime Day edition of Both Sides of the Story, brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University, the CMU. Tomorrow is World Maritime Day. The theme is Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. And we've been featuring members of the team at the Caribbean Maritime University, even as we highlight the welfare of seafarers. Captain Dervan S. Newman spoke with us earlier on. He is a member of the Faculty of Marine and Nautical Studies at the Caribbean Maritime University. We also heard from the Deputy President of the CMU, Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna. And now, having heard her introduction just before 4 o'clock this afternoon, it's time for us to say hello, good afternoon, and long time no speak, Dr. Tanisha Ingleton. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me on your program yet again. It's always a pleasure.
Same here. Thank you so much for joining us. You are Vice President, Office of Administration at the University Registry. What does that entail?
All right. Thank you so much for that. So yes, I am indeed privileged and honored to be a member of the CMU family. I am indeed the Vice President of Administration and University Registrar. It is indeed a faculty, let me not say a faculty, a department that is rather huge. Essentially, I'm responsible for the student experience and the employee experience. And so I manage units such as the Human Resources and Administration unit, security, legal services, marketing and communications, the registry, occupational health and safety. And I think that's about it.
Sounds like you have a lot on your plate, Dr. Ingleton.
Indeed. But what I want us to walk away with is that office is really responsible for enhancing the employee experience and the student experience. So that's my focus going forward.
As critical as ever. And How did this happen now? Because you joined the Caribbean Maritime University from the National College of Educational Leadership. Why did you leave NCEL for CMU?
Well, NCEL, you know how close NCEL is to my heart. I would have
Yes.
served NCEL for 7 years. I would have given 100% to the space. It is a well-oiled machine. The staff has grown. There is a lot of capacity and competency in the space. And so I thought that it was time for me to move on and allow someone else to take the baton. The team is ready. The team is not deficient in any way. And so I'm very, very proud of the legacy that I have left. I'm very proud of the accomplishments that we would have had as a team across the principalship landscape in Jamaica. And so my staff members are extremely happy for me. It's more of a celebration of success, more than anything else. And we're connected. I still communicate with them on a regular basis. And any support that the Ministry of Education wants from me in that regard, I am willing and ready to deliver.
And as you seek to deliver, what are some of those major steps being taken right now at CMU that you are involved in?
Yes, so CMU, I would say, is going through a revolution. We have a new council that was formed in 2019, and I must say to you, Dervan, that it is an excellent council. It is a council with individuals whose experience in academia, industry, and government is well established. And so they have been doing a lot to steer the university in the right direction. We are developing new systems and processes that are, I would say, that are necessary in universities of this nature and universities across the world. Certainly, there were systems and processes at the CMU that needed enhancement, and this council has really come in with a seriousness of purpose to move those things along. And so we're seeing a lot of changes at the level of the Office of the President. We have 6 new vice presidents. That was in the papers a couple weeks ago, with distinct areas and functionalities to ensure that we bring the system together and so that people can feel a sense of belonging, psychological safety, and security moving forward as team members and students.
You mentioned serving employees and students. What is that like? How one would like to think that that alone, apart from all the other things that you do or have responsibility for, that alone could take up virtually all your time every single day.
And it does. But I'm committed to the purpose. And I have a very excellent team. I have individuals who are committed to the transformation of the university. They want to see change. They want to feel as if they're in a modernized space. And they really do give the time. So it is not Kanisha Ingleton operating by herself, but as we speak right now, I have surrounded me several officers cheering me on, giving me information, getting me prepared, and they do that every single day. And so I am privileged to be a part of a space with the kindest of people, with individuals who have competencies and capabilities and who have been welcoming in even my own perspectives in changing different systems in the space. So the CMU has a great family, and it always had a great family. I am happy to know that I have gotten the opportunity to lead this family in the way that I've been doing. But there is no lack of competencies in the space in terms of our team members, and being here, we can only get better.
And what are some of the areas of interest on the part of in general terms, on the part of employees and students, those recurring matters that you're having to deal with, having to manage, having to work through with students and employees?
Okay, beautiful. So let me start with employees first. With any transition, there's going to be a sense of fear. There's going to be a sense of apprehension. And so certainly staff members want to be reassured that their jobs are secured. They want to ensure that they have the best employee benefits. And so matters of their health insurance, matters of their contracts, whether they're on a permanent basis or a contractual basis. Those are the things that preoccupy them, and my office is committed to ensuring that individuals are well taken care of according to the policies of government and the charter of the university and the various legislation that would govern and guide our operations. And so I find that every single day, that's what we're committed to doing, fixing all of the anomalies in that area. As it concerns the students, certainly every individual wants to know that they're graduating from a space that is at the very best standards, that the degrees and the programs are accredited, and that we have the very best faculty members delivering the education. And so we work on those things. Students want to be in a space where we are responsive, where we're communicating with them on a regular basis, and where we have their best interests at heart. And so we have been rolling out different activities to ensure that they are heard. We have our student forum coming up in October for our returning students and also for our new students. We are very active on our Facebook page and our Instagram pages to keep them informed. We send them emails, I would say, on a daily basis, just so that they understand what is happening. We even just concluded a vaccination survey status to ascertain the vaccination status of our students so that we can use that data to make decisions. We have designed our Getting Ready series for our students, where we provide them with a wide range of information on how to advance in the university. So we have been doing quite a lot, and there's a lot more coming on board, Dervan, and so you will be having quite a number of these interviews as we go forward. So you can definitely look forward to that.
For sure. One moment, please. A couple more questions for you, Dr. Tanisha Ingleton, Vice President, Office of Administration and University. So you're the university's registrar as well, Dr.
Yes,
Ingleton?
Right.
Got you.
So the Office of Administration is responsible for the university, for the registry operations of the university.
One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. Hello. We all love reading the words of Jesus in the scriptures, and General Conference is a special opportunity to hear more of his teachings from living representatives of Jesus Christ. With millions of people watching worldwide, it's like attending church with a global family. We hope you can join us this Sunday on Power 106 FM from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. The Caribbean Maritime University, an ISO certified institution, offers Bachelor of Science degrees in cruise shipping, logistics, engineering, marine tourism, port management, security administration, and management, among others. For further information, contact them 876-924-8150 or 924-8175 or email info@cmu.edu.jm.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints shares ways you can find hope and healing no matter your circumstances. Here's a special opportunity to learn more of his teachings from living representatives of Jesus Christ. Join Power 106 FM this Sunday, October 3, from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. to hear a special message for the world. This special broadcast is brought to you by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Both sides of the story.
World Maritime Day focus during both sides of the story is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:17. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:17. 现在几点了？4点17分. 17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level, to include the tertiary level on this special edition of Both Sides of the Story. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Our guest online has long done her homework. That is why she is Vice President, Office of Administration, and also the Registrar at the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, sponsors of this special pre-World Maritime Day broadcast here on Both Sides of the Story. World Maritime Day is being observed tomorrow, the last Thursday in the month of September, and indeed the last day in the month of September. The theme of World Maritime Day, seafarers at the core of shipping's future. Seafarers at the core of shipping's future. And there is a future, and it is very, very, very bright. Its light, there has never been any dimming of that light in all the years. Yes, like any industry, like any sector of any economy anywhere in the world, the story of life, isn't it? There are ups and downs, ups and downs. And I'm sure you can identify with that, Dr. Tanisha Ingleton, in terms of ups and downs at the Caribbean Maritime University. How do you respond to those who are still perhaps a little skeptical about CMU going forward, considering some of what has happened in the past?
Okay, yes, that is an excellent question. You see, my perspective on that is that we should never waste a crisis. Certainly, like any other organization, the CMU would have had its rough days. And what we're doing here at CMU is learning from those experiences and really making an effort to be better. I think what the focus should be right now is really the diversity of the CMU space. It's a niche area. And I mean, the quality of education that is provided at CMU and the different career paths that you can go on coming to this space is what really individuals should be looking at. We have a faculty of marine and nautical studies. You do not find that anywhere else in the Caribbean. We have a center for security, counterterrorism, and non-proliferation. These are some areas that our students in high school can look at now. These are non-traditional career paths, and they are largely untapped in the Caribbean space. When you look at the different jobs that you can step into, having come to the Caribbean Maritime University and doing a degree across any of these faculties, it's endless. And a lot of our students do not know about that. Gone are the days when the focus is the lawyer, the doctor. You know, there are so many other areas that are just so rich in terms of remuneration, and even to venture into your own business, that we have to be thinking big and wide. The seafaring industry is expansive, and as a Caribbean region, as Jamaicans, we need to tap into that. So let me just give you just a few career paths that individuals can move into. There's a freight forwarder, speed door coordinator. Some of these career paths that when I look and I see the potential that exists within the student population, if you should enroll in the faculty of shipping and logistics, it's endless where you can go. We're looking at ship agency clerks, boarding agents, customs brokers, vessel planners, immigration officers, dispatch officers. These are are professions that are highly remunerated that a lot of individuals don't know about, that we really can do a lot more marketing on, not focus on the challenges that we would have experienced in the past, because that for us is just a stepping stone. We have pivoted as a university. We're looking at robotics engineering, electronics design engineers, mechanical design engineers, software engineers. You do not find that you can get the sort of competencies in our regular university systems to enter into those career paths. Certainly you can go abroad and go to the first world where you pay millions of dollars to get these qualifications. But right here in Jamaica, right out Palisades, Norman Manley Highway, is this institution that is so rich, that is so diverse, that looks at students, even the way we admit our students, we look at their finances, we understand that it is difficult for them to pay school fees. We have the different tranches that individuals can pay in so that they can finish their education. We offer scholarships. Our counseling center is top of the line. And you would have noted, Dervan, that for quite a while, we would have had many deaths at the CMU. A lot of students have been dying from car accidents and so on. And so we have a committed staff here that is dedicated to visiting the homes of these students and speaking to the parents and counseling. Now, this is a university. Oftentimes that doesn't happen in wider university spaces, but we really are close to our students. And I think other than the different paths that we offer, career paths that we offer, that personal and intimate relationship that we offer to our students is the very reason why every single parent should reconsider where they're sending their child.
I love it. You're spot on. Can you then give us an idea of the matriculation requirements in general terms? I know some of it might be specific. Some of the requirements might be specific to particular areas of study. But in general terms, if you don't have the specifics at hand, in general terms, what are the matriculation requirements? What would I need to know before seeking to become a student at the Caribbean Maritime University? What do I need to know about admissions?
Okay, all right. So what I will say to the public to get the kind of granular and detailed information that they would need on matriculation requirements is to connect with us at registry@cmu.edu.jm. And we're very, very quick on our emails. I have right here with me our exams manager and or HR representative, and they are very quick on their emails. Once you need to know what is it that you need to have to come into the space, we will provide you with a detailed brochure on all the programs, all the faculties from undergraduate to graduate, and also the centers. So it is registry@cmu.edu.jm.
And what can you tell us as we wrap? You mentioned the counseling center, which I've never, I mean, I know we have guidance counselors in schools. I'm usually at the university level. I know there are career counselors.
Yes,
but you
yes.
seem to have more than that.
Yes, in our Students Affairs unit, we do have counselors who ensure that for various reasons, but certainly our Director of Students Affairs has been doing an excellent job in connecting personally with the individuals when they go through tragic circumstances, among other circumstances. So this counseling center is not only about academic advising. It is wider than that, and it also covers challenges across staff as well.
And I have to ask about administering programs during a time of COVID-19, programs of study and the various modalities. How have you been doing it at CMU?
All right. Thank you so much for that. Yes, indeed, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected us all, but CMU had a very agile technological platform. We have an office now headed by a vice president called Digital innovation, and our students are able to access classes online. I am not able to speak to the technicalities of the platform, but we do not get a lot of complaints about our platform. I think that students understand that this is the way that we have to operate now, and so we make sure as our faculty members that we connect with them regularly, that we send out emails, that we have our services where if it is that they can't access, they can communicate with the various officers in digital technology. We also offer online academic advising, given that individuals can't come into the space face to face. So I think,
So there's no significant program of face-to-face happening at CMU?
No, because we have to follow the protocols of the government of Jamaica. And as it is now, based on the pandemic, we have to ensure that we move according to the protocols of the government. So if they indicate that we can go face-to-face, there are certain programs that we will definitely bring on face-to-face, but otherwise we are extremely compliant to ensure that the virus doesn't spread.
Right. Look, we have a regular feature diaspora check-in coming up now in this segment, but we started the program on a note focusing on World Maritime Day, which is tomorrow, and focusing on seafarers, etc. And would like to end on that note. I hope I'm not trespassing on your time too much, Dr. Ingleton, but I'm just wondering if we could come back to you just before we wrap at 5 to get some closing sentences from you.
Oh, certainly, that's not a challenge at all. It is always a pleasure speaking to you, Dervan, and I think Jamaica needs to understand the beauty that we have in this space. This Caribbean Maritime University is our own. It's the only one in the region, and we should cherish it. We should ensure that it grows, and we should support its development.
Tell us some more in another 15 minutes or so when we come back to you. Thank you so much for now, Dr. Ingleton. We'll talk again in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Yes.
Take care. Dr. Tanisha Ingleton, she is the Vice President, Office Administration, and she's also the Registrar at Caribbean Maritime University, CMU. Stand by for Diaspora Check-In.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. Diaspora Check-In during both sides of the story is brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Que ahora es en español. Son las 5 menos 29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 29. 现在几点了？5点加29分. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. It's a special edition, a pre-World Maritime Day edition. Tomorrow, Thursday the 30th, last day in September, is World Maritime Day. And thanks to the Caribbean Maritime University, we've been able to pay some attention to the maritime industry, the maritime field, and indeed to bring to public attention the role of seafarers in keeping with the theme this year. Right now, though, we pause to get in our diaspora check-in feature sponsored by Western Union. And this is where we demonstrate what can happen when Jamaicans abroad join hands with Jamaicans at home. And so let's say hello and welcome to the president of the New Day School Alumni Association. I think, is it New Day All Age? I'm trying to make sure I get the name right. New Day. We'll clear that in a moment with the principal. But the president of the New Day All Age School Alumni Association, New York Chapter Inc., and a director of the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations based in New York, UJA, Ms. Evelyn Godden is joining us. Ms. Godden, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good evening, Dervan. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I was just trying to remember the name correctly. New Day.
It is New Day School Alumni Association, New York chapter.
And the school itself is called?
New Day Primary School.
Okay, I don't know.
It was New Day Primary now. It's now New Day.
Oh, that's what I was remembering.
Right. That's what you remembered. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Evelyn Godden. And also online, the principal of New Day Primary School, Mr. Garfield McDonald. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Dervan, and Evelyn. Good evening to you, and good evening to all the listeners.
Right, and this is one time when in Jamaica you can say Evelyn.
Yeah.
Let's get to it, Evelyn Godden. How long has it been since this New Day School Alumni Association New York chapter has been established?
This conversation, Dervan, started in 2012. The conversation started then, and it really kicked off in 2013. So we've been in the, started the conversation, then we became a 501c around 2013, 2014. So almost 10 years, not quite.
And what did you set as your primary goal, your primary role, your primary function?
Well, our primary function was to engage, make sure we help our New Day, our alma mater, giving back in terms of projects, helping kids pay for school fees. We had a list of items we wanted to give back. Once we met with the principal and we sort of worked collectively together, collaborate together, we decided some of the path we want to take is sort of helping the kids along the way. New Day Primary is in the inner city, and so we wanted to help any way that we can, whether it's giving back, helping with the breakfast program, or helping providing tablets, and to name a few.
Yes. And Garfield McDonald, principal, New Day Primary School. What does the New Day School Alumni Association New York chapter mean to you and the entire New Day Primary School family?
I must tell you that with limited resources being available to schools in Jamaica and being a primary school at this time, we were a primary and junior high school some time ago, changing from all age, from primary school, and we are back to a primary school, and being part of a inner city community, resources are really scarce. And I must tell you that the New York chapter, other members of the alumni from both local and some other places in the world, they have really been supporting the school in helping to get well-needed resources such as computers, tablets, support our nutritional program. They have done, they have contributed to books and pens and bags and shoes and all kinds of different things, scholarships for students. So in other words, they are the wing beneath our wings.
Mm-hmm. The picture is quite palpable. We can see it, and indeed we can feel it as well.
Yes.
So Evelyn Godden, where do you get the funds from, the resources from, to be able to support New Day Primary School?
But we have a team of, we have members, we have maybe 10 to 12, very small group. However, we do a lot of fundraising events to raise funds and to help us with our giving support to the school. We also have some great support team. We have, I call them angels, but we do have corporately folks who help us along the way. And also being part of the UJA organization, we're participating in the UJA Mega Raffle. So we have a list of fundraising events that we do, and we use those fundraisers to raise funds to help our beloved alma mater.
To what extent has COVID-19 impacted your ability and capacity to raise funds in support of New Day Primary School?
It has impacted us quite a bit. We've had, as I said, we participated earlier this year, a couple of months ago, in the mega raffle for UJA, which allowed us to raise a couple of funds. And sometimes when you have, as COVID-19 has put us, as sort of limited our resources or fundraising events, we have people who have stepped up. We have a great network system that we reached out to alumni who have passed on many years ago and sort of share with them the things that we are doing. And so they see all the things that we're doing, and they're also willing now to step to the plate and contribute more because of the, not able to do some of the fundraiser. So several folks have come along, sorry, and have helped us to raise funds.
Yes, and Principal McDonald, what can you tell us about how COVID-19 has impacted New Day Primary School's capacity to do what it is supposed to do as far as educating our children is concerned?
Well, Dervan, let me tell you the truth. Badly. I am very much concerned and very much uncertain as to if we can ever gain back the kind of time, instructional time, that many of these students have lost. COVID, valuable educational time, instructional time. And Jamaica, like many parts of the world, and I can speak primarily for Jamaica, that it is going to be dreaded. Let's put it like this in some years to come, because many students are not accessing anything. And remember, many students would have matriculated from one year level to the next, not getting the best of what they could have gotten. And it is going to be carried like this maybe for the next maybe 2 years. Even when we get back to face, it's going to be a difficult undertaking. But one thing for certain, we will never catch up. Mm-hmm. I don't think we will ever catch up. But guess what will happen? What it's going to call for, it's going to call for everybody to be working towards ensuring that whatever we can give, it is being given at our best, both parents, the school, the community, etc. Here at New Day School, it is no different at all. We can't find some students, those who can come online, they can't stay for the entire day because they really don't have the data or the Wi-Fi connection to tune in for the entire day. Some of them are using cellular phones, and the cellular phone belongs to the parents. Some of them have cellular phone but doesn't have the capacity to take that lesson on the download. So, it is, as I can say, these are serious times. Mm-hmm. It may seem to those who are looking in as, okay, boy, I guess if we get back to face and we start doing something then, But listen, a lot of damage
has already been done.
And, I believe, though, that all is not lost if we can all wear a mask, get vaccinated, allow the children to be back in school maybe November, December, even January, and we can get as many people to volunteer to do after school programs with our children. I think we can come back in the fight. We might not win the fight by a big margin, but at least we were back in the fight somewhere along the line. So, I mean, it's going to be hard work. The teachers have been working hard. Students are trying, but the connectivity as it relates to data is not there, or the Wi-Fi is just not there. Give the kids a tablet, yes, but I mean, you get a tablet and you can't connect. What good is that? You know? And so we are trying our best. And thanks be to the New York chapter, they have been doing their part. They have sent tablets down, and not only to our school, but but usually have sent tablets to a number of schools in Jamaica, and they are doing their very best. And we should support them where we can.
And on that note, Evelyn Gordon, knowing all you know, and based on all that's been said by Principal of New Day Primary School, Garfield McDonald, how does that impact your thoughts, your plans in terms of supporting the institution?
Well, we will continue to support Mr. McDonald under his leadership. As he said, it will be hard, but we will get there. It may take a little time for us to get back to where we were, but I think in terms of us collaborating and working, with other supporters, network people, I think we can get there. Mr. McDonald mentioned that, we've sent down tablets. The UJA project that was done back in March, early March, was sent down several tablets for primary and high school. We have recently, UJA has partnered with Caribbean ebook.
Right, hold it there. Tell us more after the break. After the break, we come back and wrap this week's edition of Diaspora Check-In during both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And then we officially wrap this pre-World Maritime Day edition of Both Sides of the Story.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints shares ways you can find hope and healing no matter your circumstances. Here's a special opportunity to learn more of his teachings from living representatives of Jesus Christ. Join Power 106 FM this Sunday, October 3, from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. to hear a special message for the world. This special broadcast is brought to you by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Both sides of the story.
On Thursday, September 30, World Maritime Day will be celebrated under the theme Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Just ahead of these celebrations, join Both Sides of the Story with host Dervan Malcolm today, Wednesday, September 29, between 2 and 5 p.m. for a special broadcast as he highlights seafarers and their core role in shipping, the future of the industry, and much more. This broadcast is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University. That's a live broadcast focusing on World Maritime Day during Both Sides of the Story. Today, Wednesday, September 29, right here on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the story.
13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into Both Sides of the Story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? It's been a very productive edition of Both Sides of the Story in more ways than one. Just before we officially wrap the Maritime, World Maritime, pre-World Maritime Day discussions, we are featuring on this week's edition of Diaspora Check-In the work being done by the New Day School Alumni Association New York chapter in support of New Day Primary School here in Jamaica. You are going on to speak of a partnership or a collaboration or a program just before we took the break. Evelyn Gordon, president of
Yes.
New Day School Alumni Association.
Thank you, Dervan. Yes, UJA has partnered with the Caribbean ebook to provide learning tablets and to basic and primary school. We have secured 125 tablets. Those tablets are actually been shipped and will be distributed to 7 schools across the island. And those will be helping students out to learn from first grade to third grade and to help them to improve in terms of learning in a more efficient way. And these tablets doesn't require the internet connection. So we're excited, UJA is excited to be partnering with Learn It, with the Caribbean ebook, Mr. Joel Webb, who is the CEO. And we have had several presentations with him introducing the tablet. Mr. McDonald is one of the participants. And so under President Leslie and Samuel's leadership, Harley Largy and the entire board of directors, we have partnered with Caribbean Book. And so these tablets will be distributed to 5 schools, primary schools, and 7 actually across the island to help in learning. So we're excited about this partnership that UJA has started.
Excellent. And Garfield McDonald, your opportunity to once again thank the New Day School Alumni Association New York chapter and UJA, and give us your outlook. We did get news today with respect to PEP and those exams now being put off to 2022, etc. That with implications for the system again, Mr. McDonald.
Yes, I want to, on the behalf of the school, express our sincere thanks to the past students of our school, both overseas and locally. I must tell you, Ms. Gordon and her team, they have been a tower of strength to our school, and not just the school, but generally to the community too, because what they would have done resonates also in a big way with the community itself, and the many people have benefited from the donations from time to time, not just the students, because we would have passed on some of these books and pens and other things to the basic schools and computers to the basic schools in the community and other things. So many people benefited from the different donations. There's a particular program that is being looked at, which is the Learn It tablets that will be given to our students. And I know it will make a great impact on learning. And, we're looking forward to 2022. We believe that if we all can get ourselves vaccinated and everybody work together and keep the distance and look after each other, then we can get back in the classrooms and we can have the PEP examination. But the PEP is just one exam at the end of a period. There's so many different learning to take place right across the different streams that really takes place in school. Not only that too, but remember the whole social intervention, helping to feed children, helping them to grow in a more sociable way, a more friendly way, more kind way, etc. All those things are on the back burner. The support that we give to parents, the support that we give to the home, the support that we give to the community, all these things are on hold because the school is online. So, we need to get back because there's a lot of work to be done.
And we definitely need to get back to you and Ms. Gordon, because there's a lot of work to be done, and a lot more information we need to get out there. But we have to wrap now. Evelyn Godden, as president of the New Day School Alumni Association, New York Chapter Inc., and the director of the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations, UJA, how can people follow the work of your association? How can, or both associations, both organizations, in order to make their contribution in light of all the work that you have to do here in Jamaica?
Well, we have a website, Dervan, which is www.newdayalumni.ny.org, and folks can check out our website and find ways to contact us there. Mr. McDonald, and as I said, we work closely not just with the New York chapter, we work closely with several members across the globe. And so that is the way we communicate with them. And so we will continue to reach out. We have a Facebook page, New Day School Alumni, New York Chapter Inc. That's a Facebook page that really details and outlines all the things that we're doing and what we have done to give back to our students at New Day Primary School. So we will continue to reach out, and folks can follow us on Facebook and check us out on our website, www.newdayalumni.ny.org.
Sounds good. Well done to you and all the members of the New Day School Alumni Association, New York Chapter Inc., and ultimately the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations. And to you too, Garfield McDonald, you're in the trenches. Thank you for doing what you do and doing good by our children as best as you can. Thank you very much. We'll be in touch. All the best.
Goodbye, and goodbye, Evelyn.
Take care. And that's it for this week's edition of Diaspora Check-In. In just a moment, we will wrap officially this pre-World Maritime Day broadcast of Both Sides of the Story.
Diaspora Check-In during Both Sides of the Story was brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Both Sides of the Story.
World Maritime Day focus during Both Sides of the Story is brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University.
Thank you very much for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Just enough time to have our very special guest who has been waiting in the wings, Dr. Tanisha Ingleton, to put her pitch to those listening at home and abroad with respect to the Caribbean Maritime University. Dr. Ingleton is Vice President, Office of Administration, and the registrar, the university registrar at the Caribbean Maritime University. We have just under 4 minutes to wrap. Dr. Ingleton, thank you for your patience. Here's your opportunity to put a cap on it on behalf of CMU. Dr. Ingleton? Hello?
Are you
we're hearing you now. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you so much for opportunity. Just want Jamaica to know that here at the Caribbean Maritime University, our primary focus is the academic and professional success of our students. And regardless of the challenges that we've had in the past, we stand committed to assisting our students in their endeavors. We have a faculty that is extremely qualified. They have excellent academic credentials. We have an administrative staff core that is committed to the growth and development and care of our students. And at the very highest level, our council is committed and our vice presidents are committed to ensuring that we give our students and the staff the very best experience. And so I'm encouraging the parents out there, I'm encouraging adults who want to further their education. The general requirement is 5 CSEC subjects or GC subjects, including math and English. We're still accepting applications for new students up to about the second week in October. Individuals can apply at cmu.edu.jm. That's apply, APPLY, at cmu.edu.jm. If you want support in terms of admissions, or admission officers are on guard here, ready to take your phone calls. I can throw out a few numbers for you. Dervan, if you want me so to do so that parents who are listening, you can call our CUG at 876-220-0031. That's one line, 876-220-0031. Another line is 876-833-1680. 876-833-1680. And there's yet another line, and this is just to show you how accessible we are, how flexible we are, and how committed we are to ensuring that we fulfill this particular mission and vision at CMU. The third number is 876-833-7390.
Well done to you again and the team, Dr. Ingleton. It's been a pleasure working with the Caribbean Maritime University in highlighting seafarers and the maritime industry in general at home and abroad. We want to thank you, Dr. Ingleton. Thanks as well to Professor Ibrahim Ajaguna, the Deputy President. Thanks to Captain Dervan Newman of the Faculty of Marine and Nautical Studies. Special thanks to Archibald Gordon.
Director of Marketing and Communications.
There you go, Director of Marketing and Communications. He has made this whole exercise so effortless in terms of his work. Well done, Archibald Gordon. As usual, no surprise there. And thanks to our Caribbean Maritime University for sponsoring this broadcast. Thanks to Vivette Malcolm, Senior Sales Consultant with Power 106 FM for coordinating sponsorship. Thanks to Davin Thomas for doing technical and production duties behind the scenes. And thanks to you, our faithful listeners and viewers at home and abroad, for making it both sides of the story. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm wishing everybody a happy and informative World Maritime Day tomorrow when it comes. Thanks, Dr. Ingleton. Take care.
World Maritime Day focus during both sides of the story was brought to you by the Caribbean Maritime University.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.
Good afternoon, I am Dervan Gordon. Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines, today, Wednesday, September 29, 2021. Guyanese court awards Jamaican woman millions of dollars in compensation after she was illegally detained in prison. Former gangster testifies that 3 branches of